When working with youth, there's grounds to actually, shape them for the future. So it's almost like an investment in the future whenever you work with a kid. It's sort of like planting a seed. There's a saying that goes, the best time to plant a seed was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a seed is right now. I'm the founder of an organization called Give and Go Athletics that advocates for youth in the city of Philadelphia. We work primarily in North Philadelphia. Our hub, where we started the organization, was at 26 and Master Athletic Rec Center. As our program grew, we grew into different parts of the city. We then moved on to 30th and Jefferson at Jefferson Park because there was an abundance of kids and no programming. So we were able to extend and expand our programs in that area. When I look at the neighborhood, for one, the first thing I do is I've always had a gift in gravitating to youth, and the youth gravitate to me as well. And when looking at that, I want to try to provide a better future for some of the kids. And maybe they can have some opportunities that I didn't have growing up in this neighborhood. Being from this neighborhood, I'd like to see them advance on some of the experiences that I've had. Brewerytown and that specific area has always been ever changing. Back in the early 1900s, Brewerytown was completely different. In my area, I grew up as a teenager in the early 90s, and I was also an adolescent in the late 80s as well. And even then, it was a lot different than what it is now. I had the benefit of having some of my teachers who were very ingrained in the community that kind of, that let me know what the changes were and what they would look like moving forward. I knew about gentrification when I was in the 9th grade in high school. I knew what that area of Brewerytown was going to look like. They were calling it Center City Extension because of its location to the city. My family moved out of the house at 1410 29th. I think it might have been about 2003, 2004, just when things were starting to really pick up around Brewerytown. And by pick up, I mean, a lot of people were starting to sell their homes. A lot of people were moving to different parts of the city. And at the time, I didn't understand why. I knew that there were going to be some changes going on, but I didn't know what that meant. But I didn't know what it meant to my family. I didn't know what it meant to the other people in the community. I just wasn't sure. I just knew that, I saw a lot of for sale signs going up on houses, as well as, cash for home signs going up, on each corner. I'm a big fan of diversity. And I've seen a lot more diversity in Brewerytown. But also I do see the bad part, which is, some of the people that have lived in Brewerytown for, 10, 20, 30, 40 years are being forced to move because they can't afford the prices. I think the development in Brewerytown is going to continue. As of right now, most of the development has been on the main roads. It's been on 29th Street, 28th Street, Girard Avenue, and basically the main corridors. But I think a lot of people are starting to understand what Brewerytown is starting to shape into. And, a lot of people are trying to get into real estate. A lot of people see Brewerytown as an opportunity as well. Just if someone is looking to, invest in something that can help them 10 years from now, buying a house in Brewerytown and sitting on it, or buying a house in Brewerytown and flipping it, or buying a house in Brewerytown and living there and just, growing with the neighborhood, I think has become what the trend is, which is why so many people are moving here. That's why a lot of people who've grown up here are, resilient in their means of trying to stay here in Brewerytown. So I think that Brewerytown is going to continue to evolve. I'm just not sure how the community is going to grow with it.